Rahubat, Rahubat. Welcome to the Horus Hour, the storytelling show that tells true stories. And we can get right into it today, because I'm going to tell a story about my first trip to the planet Sirius B. That's right, the planet Sirius B. Now, you know who the rulers of this planet is, the planet Sirius B. Who's in charge up there? It is Osiris, or you can say Asar. All right. Isis or Set. Okay. Set is, the Egyptian, and Isis, that's the Greek, terminology. That's what they use. But anyway, that's where they're from. And so if Isis and Osiris is from the planet Sirius B, that's where I'm from, the planet Sirius B. Horus, Haru, you know how it go. Anyway, I was only 3 years old, okay? And I woke up to a loud scream. And it was my mom screaming. And she was screaming, "I don't want to live no more." That's all she kept saying, it real loud. "I don't want to live no more. I don't want to live anymore." And she's crying, and I can hear her. So I wake up, I get up, and she's in the bathroom. And she's in there with my auntie. And my auntie is holding her up in the shower. And my mom is in the shower with all her clothes on. And my auntie is saying, "Wake up, wake up. Let the water run on your face. Try to get up. You don't want to do this. How many pills did you take?" And I look on the floor and I see an empty bottle of pills, and maybe like 3 or 4 pills just laying on the floor, but the bottle was empty. And my auntie kept saying, "How many pills did you take?" So then she tells me to, if I'm tall enough, to go get the coffee pot. I said, "Yeah, I know where the coffee pot is." So I run in the kitchen, and I'm only 3 years old. I was too short to reach the coffee pot that was sitting on the counter in the kitchen. So I run back in there, and I tell my auntie I can't reach it. So she's trying to hold my mother up, but my mother kind of slouches down into the tub, and the shower is still running. So she tells me to hold my mom's head to where the water is not running in her nose and her mouth like that. And so I'm holding my mom, and I'm asking her, "What's wrong, mommy? What's wrong?" And she won't say nothing. And she was like, "Leave me alone." That's what she's saying to me. "Leave me alone." And so before she said that, my auntie had told her to stop. She goes, "Horace is standing at the door." Well, she didn't call me Horace then. She called me by my slave name, Harlan. "Harlan is standing at the door." And she said, "I don't care." And she said, "You don't want to, you want to live, don't you? Don't you want to live?" She said, "No." And she goes, "Don't you want to live for your son? Don't you want to live?" And she goes, "No." And she says, "Well, what about Myron?" That's my brother, Myron. And she says, okay, I'll live for him." That's what she said. So anyway, back to me holding her head in the shower. I'm holding her head, and I asked her you know, why she don't like me. I said, Mommy, I love you. Why you don't love me? That's what I said to her. And then my aunt comes in and says, she brings the coffee in. She's trying to get her to drink the coffee. Okay. And then she tells me, you know, good job. Why don't you go in the bed? Go in the bed. Okay. Everything is going to be okay. That's what my auntie tells me. Everything is going to be okay. So I go get in my mom's bed and lay down to go to sleep. And I was so scared that my mom was going to die. But anyway, when I laid down to go to sleep, it felt like I was on a cloud or something. And I went straight up to the Planet Sirius B. Okay. As soon as I got there, I was sitting on Isis' lap. And I'm in this big, looks like a auditorium or something. And it was real big. Okay. Looking like an auditorium with all of these angelic beings. And I'm sitting on Isis' lap, and she starts to breastfeed me. I'm like, what's going on? And she says, I have to give you this milk because your mother didn't give it to you. I have to give it to you so you won't get sick. Okay. So my mother didn't give me any breast milk. So Isis did. All right. So I'm up there. Now you got angels, angelic beings, angels, whatever you want to call them. Okay. And yeah, they have wings. Okay. And all of these angelic beings it's like they were having a party or some kind of celebration. That's what it looked like. And then you had 4 angels. Okay. I assume that these were my guardian angels because I'm sitting on my mom's lap and these angels are walking up behind me, and they 2 stand on one side on my right and then 2 are on my left, but they're kind of standing in back, and Isis is holding me, and one of them kind of leans over and says, I want to get a good look at him. I think that's because they're my guardian angels. They got to come and protect me, which they did later. Okay. Anyway, he looks over. He says, I just want to get a good look at him like that. All right. So then I'm there for a minute. All these angels are singing a big, like a choir or something. They're all singing the song. And uh, not really singing the song. It was like a melody, music. They were playing music. That's what it was. They were playing music. And then one of the angels said, okay, it's time for you to go see your father. I'm like, my father? So he grabs my hand and he walks me to this chamber. It looked like some kind of chamber, had lights in it, right? And smoke. He says, you're going to sit in this chamber. You're going to change forms because you have to be a man, right? So I was 3 years old, went into this chamber. Now I'm a turn into just like smokes coming around. These lights are flashing. This like mist or smoke is coming around me. And then the door opens up and I walk in to go see Osiris. And when I'm walking in, I'm like a man now. I'm big like a man. Okay. So I figure I had to be at least, I was 21. I had to be like a 21-year-old man. So, and Osiris is sitting on his throne in this big old giant chair, okay, and it's got steps, okay. It's like he's in this big chair. He's just sitting there in this big old giant chair, and it has these steps that go down. So he tells me to come up the stairs so we can talk. And we played this game. It looked like it was checkers or something. I mean, chess. It would look more like it was a checkerboard, but it was kind of smaller, and it was more like a chess game. All right, it was my first time ever playing it. But anyway, we played this game so many times and talked, and Osiris beat me every single time except the last one, where he sent me on my journey, told me I was to come down here back to Earth, told me what my mission was, you know, told me I'm supposed to come here. I'm supposed to, and I was supposed to teach, okay, help my parents to learn how to love. That's what I was supposed to do. And I was like, that's it? That's it? Teach somebody how to love? That's easy. That's going to be easy. And he said, once I do that and I learn my name, okay, because I didn't know what my name was then. He said, when I learn what my name is, I can come back home. Okay, back home to the planet Sirius B. So as I'm leaving, he tells me that he also wants me to find Cleopatra. He said Cleopatra would be there too. And I'm like, oh yeah. I said, well, I hope she's pretty, because if she's pretty, I'm gonna marry her. And he starts laughing. He's like, ah. So that was it. That was the only thing I had said about Cleopatra. I didn't know. I was only a kid, young man. Okay, so I come back, go back through that chamber again. The door opens, get back in the chamber. I shrink back to a little baby. Another guardian angel comes and walks me back to um, Isis, and I'm sitting on Isis's lap again. And now all of these people that were singing, that was in this auditorium, they're all coming around looking at me. All of them, they're walking around like in this big old auditorium, and they're all walking in front of me, singing, and just walking past me in the front. And then I still had the two angels on each side of me, two of them, one on this side, one on the right, one on the left. And then all these people coming around. And finally, Isis says, okay, you have to hurry up and get back down to Earth before they know that you're missing. Okay. Of course, I didn't understand that. Missing? I'm not missing. That's my thinking. But I did ask him, when I'm talking to my dad, Osiris, I'm asking him, to save my mama, because don't let my mom die. And he assured me that she wouldn't, you know. And so anyway, when I come back down, um, it's morning time, and I hear my auntie in the kitchen talking. So I run into the kitchen, and my mom and my auntie sitting there drinking coffee, and they're talking. And I was so happy. I was like, hey, my mom's alive. Yay, she's alive. And that was the first time I ever went to the Planet Sirius B. And I knew I wouldn't be coming back until I learned my name. I wanted to come back a whole lot sooner. Okay. I thought I was going to go back as soon as I found out what my name was. As soon as I found out my name was Haru, Horus, I was ready to go. I was ready to take off, get out of here, get out off this planet. Okay. But I'm still here. I even wanted to leave when I was 6 months. Okay. I was like, I was using my slave name. I said, I know my name. I'm ready to come home. And it's like, no go, buddy. Okay. You got to stay on that planet Earth. Okay. You got to stay there until you finish your mission. So I'm going to be here for a while. All right. I have not finished my mission. Okay. And I don't think I will ever finish that mission, because if that mission was to get my mother and father to love, that means my mission was not complete. I failed that mission. Okay. I don't even talk to my mama and daddy now. All right. They are way on the disagreeable side. Okay. Both of them tried to murder me. Uh, my father literally was trying to kill me and said he didn't care if he killed me. Said I wasn't his son anyway. All right. Used to make me sit on my hands, tell my brother to come beat me up. My little brother. Okay. My little brother tell me to sit on my hands and tell my little brother to come punch me in my face. And my little brother would start laughing and come do it. All right. So me and my brother used to fight all the time. When my dad went to jail, oh, me and my brother fought all the time. Okay. My mother never tried to stop him. All right. She never tried to say, why don't you leave your brother alone? Never. Okay. One time, house quiet. I'm just sitting in my room studying. He walks into the room. Yeah, I'm going to kick your butt. My mom tells me to stop, and I should know better because I'm the oldest. I ain't even say nothing. How am I supposed to stop when I didn't say nothing or do nothing? My brother running his mouth. Every word coming out of his mouth is a foul language. And I said, wow, mom said, be quiet. Guess what happened? My mom punched me in my mouth and said, I said, shut up. She punches me in the mouth and tells me to shut up. When I was sticking up for her, telling my brother that she said to stop talking because he was cursing. Okay, but anyway, then my mom called the police on me. I mean, just totally out the clear blue, just making some stuff up, and got the police coming to the house with guns drawn. Can you imagine that? Police showing up to your house with guns drawn? Don't freeze, brother. And you know they didn't use brother. Okay? Don't move. You know what they said. I will blow your head off. I'm like, I was not moving. Okay? I had my arms up like this. I'm like, freeze. Okay. Anyway, all that worked out. And so, yeah, with some disagree, another reason is because my mom is into religion. And religion has done nothing but divide people, divide the masses. I mean, with this religion and the division, it's insane. You got people that's been tricked into worshiping the devil, think they worshiping Jesus, and they are very evil and don't even know it. Okay? So I don't have no hard feelings against my mom or my dad. Okay? I forgive them. Okay? You know why? Because forgiving isn't for them. It's for me. It's for my peace, my sanity. Okay? I don't need their love. I'm already love. Love is not something you do. Love is something you become. And until you get that, you will be lost, and you ain't gonna never find any love. Because if you're looking outside of yourself for somebody else to love you, you gonna have some problems. Okay? Because ain't nobody gonna love you more than you. Okay? And that's a fact. Okay? Ain't nobody finna love you more than you. You got to love yourself. So anyway, love yourself. All right? You want to get some more good information about how to love yourself, or you want to know what to do while you're on this planet, I suggest that you go to OSM Vision, check out Shaquin. He's a student teacher of the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York. All right. And it's OSM Vision. Ask me anything. That's what he say. Ask me anything. Okay. And he will answer that question for you. All right. So anyway, that was my story. You know, first time going to the Planet Sirius B, finding out about me, seeing these angelic beings, knowing who I am. Okay. So it's going to be impossible for somebody, because I'll be hearing people, you need to go to church and pray to Jesus, get some Jesus in your life. Do you know how ignorant you sound saying that to me when I'm hoarse? Do you know how ignorant that sounds? When I know for a fact that the Trinity is Isis, Horus, and Osiris? Do you know how crazy that is for you to tell me anything about some Jesus when I already know for a fact he don't exist and never did? So wake up, world. Wake up. Why don't you realize what you're doing? Because you don't even follow your own book, most of you guys. All right? And you can't follow it. How can you follow something that's not true? How can you follow something that's meant to deceive you? Okay? Remember, it says in there for you to be a slave, obey your slave master. So if you got a book telling you to obey your slave master, you got to think about what you're really reading. If you're reading a book that's written by somebody who wrote a book called Demonology, King James wrote a book called Demonology. And in his book, Demonology, he said he's going to write a second book to turn you Christians to worship the devil. This is what he said in this book called Demonology. And you just go ahead and say, the first book was so good, I want to get the second one. That's what you did. And you get the second book and you think you know everything. Anyway, check out OSM Vision. All right. And support the freedom of Dr. Malachi Z.K. York. Peace. Wadu. Ashuk.